It's a chilly Saturday afternoon up here in the North Georgia mountains for this edition of Nighthawk basketball. Welcome to Lynn Cottrell Arena and the UNG Convocation Center as we get set for Game 2 of our doubleheader on the Nighthawk Sports Network. And we've got a great matchup between two teams meeting for the first time in program history. It's the 6th-ranked team in the nation, North Georgia Nighthawks, taking on the visiting Sand Sharks from USC Beaufort. We are so glad to have you all with us today. Alongside the Nighthawk Sports Network team, Robert DiClemente here. As we mentioned during last game, 2023-2024 marks the inaugural season for USC Beaufort's men's and women's basketball programs. And so far, the Sand Sharks have been off to a terrific start, sitting at 9-4 overall as the highest scoring team in the Peach Ball Conference. And with the pace the Sand Sharks have been on throughout this first half of the season, they are making a real statement in their first year as a program. And the Nighthawks are continuing to build off of their success from last year. 13 wins already this season. They dropped their last game on Wednesday to Lander on the road, and the superstar Frank Champion was held to just 3 points in the loss, the lowest in a game in his career. But if I had to guess, Frank's not going to let that happen 2 games in a row. He's certainly due for a bounce-back game, and we know he loves to put on a show in front of the home crowd. We should be in for a great matchup today between two of the better teams in the Peach Ball Conference. And now it's time for starting lineups for our Saturday PBC Showdown. Starting lineups are presented by Northeast Georgia Health System, the official healthcare partner of UNG Nighthawk Athletics. First for Coach Ron Fudala and USC Beaufort. Starting today's game is going to be number 3, Larry Bullock, and then number 12, Shea Champagne, number 23, Kyle Polche, number 32, Kevon Price, and number 33, Marcus Overstreet. And starting today's matchup for North Georgia is going to be number 1, AJ White, number 5, Frank Champion, number 12, Giancarlo Bastianoni getting the start for Coach Dan Evans and the Nighthawks this afternoon. Number 15, Greg Billups Jr., and Caden Charles, number 24, is going to round out that starting lineup for the Nighthawks this afternoon. Eric Jones, inactive for today's game, did not play against Lander on Wednesday as well, was out due to an illness, and he's out this afternoon as well. So Bastianoni is going to take over the starting spot as we get set to get underway here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. North Georgia women's basketball coming off a dominant 103-38 win, 68-point win for the Nighthawks about 30 minutes ago. We'll see if North Georgia men's basketball can follow suit here. And it looks like Greg Billups Jr. is going to tip, or it'll actually be Frank Champion and Marcus Overstreet meeting at midcourt. And we are underway here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. North Georgia wins the tip. And we're going to have a quick stoppage of time here as the shot clock is going to reset to 26 seconds. So Billups inbounds the Champion now to A.J. White. Got plenty to talk about with Frank Champion and A.J. White later on in this one as that ball is tipped out of bounds by Price. It'll be North Georgia's ball. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Charles with the ball. He'll take a wide open long 2 and hit it. First bucket of the game belongs to Caden Charles. Had his foot on the line, so that's going to be a 2. USC Beaufort working the ball around. Here's Polche, a drive to the basket by Price, no good. Nighthawks get the rebound. Billups going coast to coast, Passes it out into the corner to one of the best three-point shooters in the PBC, A.J. White, up top to Charles. Charles will take the three, and he hits that one. First 2 buckets of the game go to Caden Charles as he knocks down the three. Quick 5-0 lead for the Nighthawks. Caden Charles missed the first few games of the season for North Georgia. Great to see him back into the starting lineup these last couple of weeks. And the three is good by Larry Bullock. Nice answer there from USC Beaufort. As Billups Jr. will inbound. North Georgia's only 2 losses this season have come against top 25 ranked teams, as White leaves it for Frank, and Frank with the layup. One of the best duos in not only the Peach Belt Conference, but in NCAA Division II men's basketball. Both Frank and AJ ranking in the top 3 in scoring, and a nice move there by Champagne. Breaks the ankles of AJ White there. So Billups Jr. will inbound, looking for White. White's got a wide open lane. Motor all day. Easy money for AJ White. Makes this a 9-5 ball game. Here is Champagne. And the drive to the bucket by Price. And we're going to have a travel. Too many steps there by Price. Turns it over, and USC Beaufort's going to make a hefty substitution here with Quiron Anderson, Kenny Gaines, Tassos Fanos, and Nolan Paladigu stepping on for North Georgia, as Caden Charles has a wide open bucket, but a great rejection from behind by Gaines. That was LeBron James-esque chase down block there. Anderson almost loses it, passes it out into the corner. Now back up top to Spanos. And midi off the mark by Anderson. Offensive rebound goes to USC Beaufort. Here's Spanos, now out to Kenny Gaines. Tries to make a move on Billups. Pass out in the corner. Spanos for 3, and he sticks it in the corner. 9-8 ball game. North Georgia with the 1-point lead. Inbound goes to A.J. White. And White, another wide open lane, and he's going to take those all day, every day, as he gets the layup to go down the middle of the lane. And those are 2 easy buckets for A.J. White. 3-pointer off the mark by Anderson. Billups with the board, and that ball is tipped, turned over, taken over by USC Beaufort. And the drive into the bucket, off glass, tough layup by Kenny Gaines. Gets it to fall. Here is Bastianoni down low. In traffic, he's fouled. He's going to go up for 2 free throws after the foul from Nolan Paladugu. That's going to take us to our first media timeout. North Georgia leads by a point, 11-10. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia mountains. Considering a career change?
Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where the score stands at 11-10. North Georgia up by a point. Giancarlo Bastianoni at the line makes this a 2-point lead for North Georgia. And the younger brother, Chase Champion, now into the game for North Georgia. And Case Roach is going to step on now for Bastianoni after he knocks down both free throws. So USC Buford with the ball. And this is a team not afraid to let it fly. The highest scoring team in the Peach Belt Conference this season. As Anderson leaves it for Spanos. Trying to size up A.J. White. Now a drive to the bucket. And the layup is no good by Anderson. And this is going to be USC Buford's basketball. I believe Roach had the ball and stepped out of bounds. Shot clock resets to 20. As we mentioned, this is the highest scoring team in the PBC this season. And they hold the top 3 highest scoring games of the season. And there's just a wide open 3 here by Price off the mark, and Frank Champion skies high for the board. And Champion now posted up a smaller Spanos on him. He turns it over, Spanos with the steal. And USC Buford has scored 130 points versus Morris, 127 points again versus Morris, and 114 versus Augusta as the Sand Sharks turn it over. Here is A.J. White with the long 2, knocks it down. A.J. White, one of the most efficient shooters in the PBC this season. Sand Sharks working the ball around as try to drive in on Champion. The 3-pointer from Gaines nails it at the top of the key. This is going to be an interesting matchup for North Georgia. Haven't seen a team with this caliber of scoring all season long. Nighthawks get this one to Chase Champion. Now A.J. White crosses half court. White trying to work on Price. Back up top to Roach. Roach wide open for 3. Takes it off the mark, and rebound goes to Anderson. And drive to the bucket off the mark. Nice job by Frank Champion to make that shot difficult for Gaines. As Chase Champion drives in. Back up top to Frank. Now to A.J. White. A.J. White gets a screen from Case. Now into Frank, back up top to A.J. A.J. takes the 3 off the mark. Rebound goes to USC Buford and Anderson. No call there, great defense by Chase Champion. Here goes Frank on the move, and the floater is good on the other end. Defense turning into offense there for North Georgia. 17-13 is the score. Here's Price trying to drive in. Great hands by Billups. Gets the steal. He's pressured by Price. And this is going to go, or I believe, stay North Georgia's ball. As the big man, Colin Turner, checks into the game for North Georgia, as well as the point guard, Sutton Smith. Nighthawks have 3 seconds to get this one past half court. And Coach Evans looking for a foul call there. He's not going to get it, though. And Nighthawks get this one past half court. Bastianoni back into the game for North Georgia as well. Good hands by USC Beaufort. Tips this one out of bounds. It's going to stay North Georgia's basketball with 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Here is Big C, Colin Turner. Gets it into A.J. White. White in the corner. Back to the big man. And we're going to have a travel on Turner as USC Beaufort makes a substitution. Gaines is going to step back on. In case Roach is going to step into the game for the Nighthawks for A.J. White. It's been a fairly close game in these first 8 minutes of action. North Georgia leads by 4, and the three-pointer hits nothing there for Bullock, but the Sand Sharks get the offensive rebound, but we're going to have a media timeout on the floor. And the shot clock's going to be reset to 9 seconds. We'll step aside. North Georgia leads 17-13. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Back with you here in Dahlonega where the score is 17-13. North Georgia up by 4. And it's going to be USC Beaufort's ball coming out of the media timeout here with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. As Polche will inbound the ball here in front of the Nighthawks bench. Here's Bullock with the ball. Gets a screen, 3 seconds left, and they turn it over. Nighthawks get another steal here. As they get it into Sutton Smith. Now Bastianoni trying to find a cutting Case Roach. Roach bounces it back to Bastianoni. Bastianoni, nice pass inside to Charles, but they turn it over. Right idea by the Nighthawks, just couldn't quite execute on that play. And Bullock gets the steal. Step back three-pointer, no good. Nighthawks take over. Here comes Caden Charles spinning to the basket, and he's fouled on the shot. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots as he's fouled by Kyle Poltz. So 2 shots coming up for Caden Charles. And the Nighthawks are coming off of a loss at number 17 Lander this past Wednesday, a top 25 ranked matchup. That loss snapped a 9-game winning streak for North Georgia, as Lander now remains the only remaining unbeaten team in league play. Nighthawks had 2 players score in double figures, with Caden Charles with 14 points, Bastianoni adding 12 points. As we mentioned, Frank Champion only scored 3 points in that contest, the lowest in any game in his career. There's a drive and a pull-up jumper off the mark, offensive rebound for USC Beaufort, and the putback is good by Overstreet. And that's one aspect where USC Beaufort shines, as they get the turnover and the steal here, and a quick three-pointer by Bullock. Sand Sharks climbing back into this game as Caden Charles gets the ball into a streaking Bastianoni. And up with the layup. It's good by the big man, Colin Turner. Nighthawks were able to get a 5-on-4 matchup there. As we were mentioning, USC Beaufort leads the PBC in offensive rebounds per game, snagging 17.7 per contest, as the three-pointer is off the mark by Poltz. Rebound goes to North Georgia. As Smith is pressured at half court. Here's Smith in the corner, now back up top to Smith, and we're going to have a foul down low. And this is going to go against number 12, Shea Champagne, as Billups Jr. and Frank Champion step back on for North Georgia. And for the Sand Sharks, Paladugu steps back on as well. North Georgia with the three-point lead as Smith inbounds it to Charles. Charles lets the three fly, air ball there, but Frank Champion recovers on the rebound. As Billup pump fakes a couple times, drives in, misses the layup, and this is going to stay North Georgia's ball out of bounds on the Sand Sharks. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Nighthawks got to make something happen quick here. Inbound to Frank Champion. 5 seconds left. Got to get busy. Into Caden Charles, and he's going to be fouled on the layup. So he's going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. Marcus Overstreet picks up the foul, sending Caden Charles to the line for the second time in this ball game. And this is going to be one of the better defensive matchups you will see this season in the Peach Ball Conference. North Georgia leads the PBC in blocks per game, averaging just over 5 per contest. And USC Beaufort leads the PBC in steals per game, averaging a whopping 10.5 per contest. So even though USC Beaufort leads the PBC in scoring, averaging just under 100 points a game, this could be a fairly low-scoring contest, with these two teams being as dominant as they are on defense. Eric Jones, of course, ranking close to the top 10 in the NCAA Division II in blocks per game. He is going to be inactive for today's contest. So the Nighthawks will have to find some defense elsewhere. And the kick out down the lane, layup off the mark by Overstreet. Frank Champion gets the rebound, bounce pass in traffic to Caden Charles, and a tough layup gets it to fall. It was a tough shot for Caden Charles in traffic. Bullock with Bastianoni guarding him. Kicks it up top to the logo where Champagne is. Shot clock down to 5. Spin into the lane for Champagne. Turnaround midi, no good. Rebound, Bastianoni. There's Frank. Down the lane, spinning layup. Grazes the rim, and Sutton Smith keeps the play alive for North Georgia. Nice hustle play there by Smith as the Nighthawks get this to Champion, and down low to Caden Charles. Very aggressive here in this first half. He's fouled on the layup, and he's going to go to the line for 2 more free throws as Stefanos picks up another foul. North Georgia leads 25-18. Charles with a chance to extend the lead here at the line. Hits the front of the rim on the first. A.J. White getting set to check back in. Looks like he'll step on for Charles. He's able to knock this one down. And he gets the second one to fall. And on comes A.J. White for North Georgia. So a lineup of White, Champion, Bastianoni, Smith, and Billups Jr. on the floor for North Georgia. Price leaves it for Bullock. Bullock will take the three, contested by Billups Jr., gets the rebound as well. As Billups Jr. double-teamed down low, keeps the possession alive, gets to Bastianoni. Here's Sutton Smith with the ball, now in the corner to Billups Jr. Down low, nice no-look pass by Champion to Bastianoni for the layup. And Frank Champion continues to lead the PBC in points per game and assists per game, scoring just over 20 points per game and averaging almost 6 assists per outing. And a tough layup there by USC Beaufort. Price gets the layup. Sand Sharks hanging in there, showing some pressure at half court. Smith able to get it past, and a nice bounce pass down low to Billups Jr., who slams it down. And Frank Champion with a couple of really nice assists on back-to-back plays here for North Georgia offensively. Step back three for the Sand Sharks. Bullock misses, and here comes Frank again. The bounce pass down low, but A.J. White unable to convert on the layup. 3-on-3 break here for the Sand Sharks, and a missed layup by Overstreet, gets back out, and the three is good by Spanos. North Georgia leads by 7 with 6.5 left in the first half. Swing out to Billups Jr. and down low to Frank, and Frank converts on the lob down low. Already surpassed his scoring totals from last game. He was held to just 3 points, as we mentioned earlier. Definitely wasn't going to let that happen again, and a great rejection on the midi by Bastianoni. Sutton Smith on the move, and he's fouled by Bullock. It's going to send him to the line for a pair of free throws. And this is going to send us to our media timeout. So we will step aside. North Georgia leads by 9, 32-23. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here inside Lynn Cottrell Arena, where North Georgia leads USC Beaufort by 9. And Sutton Smith is going to go to the line for a chance to extend North Georgia's lead to double digits. Smith shooting North Georgia's 9th and 10th free throws of the game, as he is off on the first. USC Beaufort has yet to get to the free throw line here in this first half. As Smith unable to convert on the second. So USC Beaufort takes over. Here's Paladugu with Bassianoni on him. Now to Anderson, now back to Gaines. He's got Frank Champion on him. Spanos with the ball. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Sandshark's got to get busy. Long three is good by Gaines. With the shot clock winding down, knocks down the three and brings USC Buford within 6. AJ White bounces it into Bassianoni. Bassianoni out to Frank Champion, and he's looking for a foul on Spanos. Not going to get one there. Smith will step off, and Caden Charles steps back on for North Georgia. Inbound goes to Champion. Now back to Chase Champion. Caden Charles with room to work, takes the midi off the mark. And USC Buford's giving Charles room to shoot. He's able to make him pay on his first couple shots of the game as Frank Champion says no sir on the swat. Bounce pass into AJ White and took a couple steps there before the dribble. So it's going to be a travel on White as Champion will step off and Roach will step back on for the Nighthawks with about 4.5 minutes remaining in this first half. And a long three is good by Paladugu. And it looks like we're going to have an offensive foul on Case Roach, who's going to give the Sandsharks the ball back here. May have been a frustration play there on Roach's part. So Gaines with the ball, tries to find Spanos. White cuts him off. Here is Pulse, and we are going to have, I believe, a warning against Coach Evans for North Georgia. Nighthawks letting out a bit of frustration here in these last couple of plays as USC Buford has made this a one-possession ball game. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and the step back air ball is there by Gaines. So this is going to be North Georgia's ball. Nice defensive stand there by the Nighthawks. Chase Champion trying to inbound, gets it into Bassianoni. Now back to Chase Champion. Nice job by the Nighthawks breaking the press. And in the corner, wide open is Case Roach, off the mark as Paladugu gets the rebound. Ball gets back to Paladugu. He drives in. Pump fake. Gets Chase Champion up in the air, and Champion grabs the board. Another good defensive stance there from the Nighthawks. Nice ball movement here as this gets to Roach. Now back to a wide open AJ White. Pure hits the three-pointer. AJ White shooting 49.4% from the Peach Belt Conference. That's good for first in the conference this season. One of the best three-point shooters, and not just the PBC, but in the NCAA Division II this season. That's going to lead us to a media timeout. North Georgia leads by 6. 3:18 left in this contest. We'll step aside for a commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama like? What? Still no high though. Hi. Hey. Oh my God. there it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. Score 35-29. North Georgia up by 6 as USC Beaufort inbounds this. And it gets up top to Champagne. Champagne trying to work on Champion, and he drives past him for the bucket. Nice move there by Champagne, blowing past Champion there on the layup as they inbound this to A.J. White, and he's going to be fouled by Spanos. Not a smart foul there on Spanos' part. It's going to give North Georgia the chance to extend their lead here at the line as Greg Billups Jr. steps back on for the Nighthawks. And A.J. White, also one of the best shooters from the free throw line in the PBC this season. 87% for White as he hits the first. The best free throw shooter on this team as well. Right in front of Sutton Smith, who's shooting 83% from the line this year as White knocks it down. Still a 6-point lead for the Nighthawks. Here's Champagne, who bullet passes it to Bullock. Bullock gets it out as USC Beaufort tries to work the ball around, and a step back two, no good by Champagne. Rebound goes to the Nighthawks, and they've done a great job of keeping the Sand Sharks off the offensive glass in this one. And a wide open transition three is good by Bullock. Sand Sharks not going away. It's again a one-possession ball game here at Lynn Cottrell Arena as we approach 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Bastianoni, gets a down low to Frank Champion, and Frank Champion gets the layup down low in traffic. Sand Sharks working the ball around up top of the three-point line, and a long three just grazes the rim for Bullock. A.J. White gets the rebound. Nighthawks in transition, and the lob and the finish by Billups Jr. Got a bird's eye view of the rim on that one. And a nice lob inside by A.J. White. Here's Champagne with now Bastianoni on him. Gets the switch. 12-on-12 matchup. And Champagne wins that one. As Frank gets the inbound to Caden Charles, who's immediately doubled. Sand Sharks showing a lot of pressure here, full court pressure when the Nighthawks are inbounding. Under a minute remaining in the first half. Nighthawks get this one down low to Frank. Frank over the smaller defender. Gets the layup to fall. Does the too little celebration after the bucket on that one. And USC Beaufort's going to call a timeout here with 30.9 remaining, 21 seconds left on the shot clock. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we will stay right here. North Georgia trying to maintain that lead going in to the locker rooms for halftime. Up 43-36. As we mentioned earlier, trying to follow up the win by North Georgia women's basketball. A dominant win that was 103-38. Their largest margin of victory this season, have to check the record books, but that may be one of the largest margins of victory all time for North Georgia women's basketball. And so the Nighthawks got some big shoes to fill here for the men's basketball team following up that performance. But it's been a solid showing from them so far throughout these first 20 minutes. Bullock inbounds it to Champagne. That was deflected by White, but it stays USC Beaufort's ball. 10 seconds left on the shot clock as Bullock pulls back. He will try to drive past Billups Jr. No good. Nighthawks can hold it for the last shot. They're working in transition here as Caden Charles goes up for the layup, and he's fouled with 5.8 remaining on the clock, and so he's going to go to the line for 2 more free throws for the Nighthawks. Nighthawks already with 12 free throws here in this one. These will be 13 and 14 for Caden Charles. Nighthawks have been an efficient 9 for 12 from the free throw line in this first half. As Coach Evans is talking things over with his team, while Charles shoots this first free throw, knocks it down, and USC Beaufort will have the chance to take the last shot of the first half if North Georgia is unable to get the offensive rebound here. As Caden Charles knocks down the second. 5 seconds remaining. USC Beaufort trying to get one last shot up, and the three is off the mark there, and that's going to take us to halftime. North Georgia up by 9, 45-36, headed to the locker rooms. We will step aside for our halftime break. We've got some stats and first half breakdowns coming your way. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Here in Dahlonega, we treasure our history.
We treasure our waterfalls.
We treasure our wine.
But most of all, we treasure our guests.
We are a family.
We treasure our community.
And we're an experience for you to discover.
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 The heart of the Georgia mountains.
The heart of the Georgia mountains.
Discover the heart of the Georgia mountains.
The mountains are open.
My name is Lana Titterina, and UNG is where I lead. I chose UNG because of the tennis program and how much the tennis program has achieved in the past, and I wanted to be a part of building a good team but also the campus is very beautiful, the location. It has the new business building that I really like, and when I did my research, I really liked Dahlonega in Georgia. So one of the biggest challenges that I faced was coming here and not knowing anyone. I didn't know how the culture was and how to really approach people. And being new and not knowing anyone can be tough in the beginning. So you have to really put yourself out there and make connections, talk to people. So that's where I feel like I've grown a lot, and I've gotten to know a lot of people here, and that has helped my experience. My advice for international students would be just go for it. It may be tough in the beginning, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. You're going to meet amazing people. It's really fun, and you get a very good degree.
I'm here!
You've got a lot of reasons to be here.
I'm here.
That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatment protocols are saving more hearts than anywhere else in the state. That's why we're here.
I'm here.
So you'll always be there. The future of heart care, we're leading Georgia there. Georgia Heart Institute.
From the moment you know where you are headed, it starts a journey that you will never forget. For those who seek a higher calling, to serve something bigger than themselves and take the path less traveled, UNG awaits to prepare you for your leadership pathway. Once you're here, you will be challenged and developed, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Freshman Recruit Orientation Group, or Frog Week, is the first step of the UNG journey. The commitment, the attitude, the effort, and the resilience take shape as you move forward on the pathway that most will never attempt.
Y'all got 2 minutes to change into OCPs. Time now. Let's go. Move it. Move it.
It is a process that teaches you about yourself and makes you better than you were yesterday. At times, it can be a struggle, but it's also an investment in yourself. Like life, it can create moments of doubt. You learn about yourself and your strengths and weaknesses. You share this journey with the men and women to your left and right, establishing lifelong bonds with the understanding that nothing worth having ever comes easy. But through adversity, you build strength, determination, and the desire to never quit. Frog Week will establish a foundation to build upon, strengthen you physically and mentally, and start shaping you into the leader you came here to be. For cadets at the University of North Georgia, they take the road less traveled, avoid taking the easy way out, and develop instrumental values that will prepare them for a life of service and leadership. Some people talk about it, others are about it.
You can't really get an idea of how another country runs their military till you go abroad. It was cool to see their outlook on just life in general. To be there as a global ambassador is definitely a life-changing experience.
I participated in the Management College National Defense University Cadet Exchange. That is located in Taipei, Taiwan.
So I participated in study abroad internship in country of Georgia. The program I participated in was the Swiss Summer Mountaineering course. The experience was extremely professional. There were people from different militaries across the world. I was training with soldiers that were once our adversaries. It's when I noticed the importance of diplomatic relations and also civil affairs through the military.
The host school was always really going out of their way to help us get the full cultural experience because we were, in their eyes, only going to be there for 5 months.
They drove us out and we hiked to a glacier. That was unique, especially coming from Tennessee. There's no ice walls to climb. Their native language of Georgian was very difficult. However, at the end, I gave a little speech in Georgian, thanking their academy. It was an eye-opening experience. One thing I learned in Switzerland was to try and enjoy everything that you're doing, no matter how challenging it is.
Being able to see the country of your target language in person and really living day to day can move your passion to continue learning the language that much further.
All the conferences, all the internship, and all the exchange programs will help you as you develop, not just as a soldier, but also as a person. I think everybody in the course should study abroad because it will develop them so much.
If you have a free semester, it's the perfect time to explore a country. There's really not much holding you back in terms of whether or not you should go. It's a great experience.
I got an extremely valuable training and just an overall incredible life experience that I wouldn't have gotten going to any other school. And it was the opportunity of a lifetime.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high, though. Hi. Hey. Oh, my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where the score is 45-36, North Georgia, with a 9-point lead over USC Beaufort after a pretty tightly contested first half. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from those first 20 minutes here in this game. For USC Beaufort, they've gotten some good production out of Larry Bullock with 9 points, Shea Champagne with 6 points, Kenny Gaines with 8, and Tassos Spanos with 6. All those players hitting their per game point averages are just about already up to this point. But they've been taking care of the scoring load for the Sand Sharks, as they have not gotten much production out of their two leading scorers in Marcus Overstreet and Kevon Price. Overstreet averaging almost 17 points per game this season. Price just over 14 points per game so far in this 2023-2024 season. Overstreet so far in this one has just 2 points. And Kevon Price also has not scored much in this one either for USC Beaufort. But as we mentioned, they're getting a lot of production out of their bench. 17 points off the bench for USC Beaufort compared to just 2 for North Georgia. And speaking of North Georgia, let's take a look at some of their numbers from that first half. Of course, you have your usual suspects with Frank Champion and A.J. White scoring in double figures. Champion with 10, A.J. White with 11 in that first half. And Caden Charles getting in on the scoring action, scoring 14 points in that first half. He's matched his scoring total from North Georgia's last matchup against Lander. I believe he is in career high scorer watch as far as points go. So we'll have to keep up with Caden Charles' scoring numbers as we play out this second half. And Greg Billups Jr., while he just has 4 points in that first half, 1 assist and 1 steal, he's got 4 rebounds as well. But he's plus 15 in this matchup, the highest plus minus out of any player between North Georgia and USC Beaufort. And he's just one of those glue guys, you know, that won't exactly blow you away on the stat sheet.
They're going to drop it again when the horn
But
goes.
whenever he's on the floor for North Georgia, you know, he's definitely someone that the Nighthawks are always glad to see out there. You know, whether he's hyping up his team or making those little plays that maybe don't show up on the stat sheet for North Georgia. He's one of the most important players on this Nighthawk roster. So getting some good production out of Billups Jr. As far as three-point shooting goes, it's been all USC Beaufort. 8 for 19 from the three-point line in that first half compared to just 2 for 6 from North Georgia. A.J. White and Caden Charles are the only 2 players to notch a three-pointer in that first half. So hopefully we'll see a turnaround from the Nighthawks beyond the three-point line as the second half unfolds. And North Georgia was also an efficient 11 of 14 from the free throw line in those first 20 minutes. USC Beaufort did not get to the free throw line once in that first half. A great job by the Nighthawks, you know, staying disciplined on defense, you know, and making those shots difficult for the Sand Sharks, but still holding them to no free throws in that first half. And so 20 minutes down, 20 minutes to go here in this game 2 of our doubleheader for North Georgia basketball. And this is a busy day around the Peach Belt Conference as far as men's and women's basketball goes. As far as men's basketball, Flagler College is up 45-33 over Clayton State at the half. USC Aiken up 34-30 over Columbus State. That game at the half as well. And GCSU up 35 over Lander. So that'll be an interesting game to see unfold between Lander and Georgia College. Lander, one of the best teams in the PBC in both men's and women's basketball, and Georgia College's women's basketball team threatened the upset in their matchup, were unable to come away with the win. We could see Georgia College potentially come away with the upset win in the men's basketball matchup. We are underway here in half number 2 as we are going to have a quick stoppage of time here as USC Beaufort will inbound again. And if Georgia College is able to take down Lander in that men's basketball matchup, it'll snap a 7-game winning streak for Lander. So it'll be interesting to see how that one unfolds. And the tough 2 off the mark and an offensive rebound for USC Beaufort, and they get the bucket to fall as Marcus Overstreet gets a much-needed basket for him. As we mentioned earlier, he is USC Beaufort's leading scorer this season, as Caden Charles sends a player to the ground. May have been a bit of a flop there by USC Beaufort. Here is the glue man, Billups Jr., down low to Bastianoni. Bastianoni steps back. Couldn't get the shot to fall off glass, but he's going to try to get his 2 points here at the free throw line. Nighthawks picking up right where they left off in that first half, putting the aggression on USC Beaufort and getting to the line for their points as Bastianoni is unable to convert on the first. And the second free throw is money for Bastianoni. Again, we are glad you all decided to join us for our Nighthawk basketball doubleheader on the Nighthawk Sports Network, as USC Beaufort will maintain possession here. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Good hands by Caden Charles and Billups Jr. getting in and deflecting the pass. USC Beaufort working this around the three-point line. Here is Bullock. 3 seconds, got to get busy. And USC Beaufort turns it over. Good hands by Billups Jr. Speaking of good hands, a turnover here as Polche intercepts that pass, and the corner three is off the mark by Champagne. Rebound goes to the Nighthawks. Caden Charles in transition, and he's going to be fouled, and he's going to the line for a pair of free throws. Foul is going to be on Kevon Price, sending Caden Charles to the line. He's going to go to the free throw line for shots 17 and 18 from the charity stripe as he gets the first to fall. Nighthawks 13 of 17 from the free throw line. As Caden Charles has a chance to get to 16 points, as he does. And here is Bullock now out to Polche, now back to Bullock. Bullock takes the long three and hits it over the outstretched arms of Caden Charles. As USC Beaufort regains possession, Bullock will step back and miss the midi, and the rebound goes to Billups Jr. Nice pass down low to Caden Charles, who misses the layup, and the follow is good by Frank Champion. Bullock trying to carve his way down low, and he's going to pick up the foul on Greg Billups Jr. He's going to send him to the line. Billups Jr. and Bullock chatting it up a bit there. This is going to be baseline for the Sand Sharks. As Bullock will inbound. They get this one into Price. Now to Gaines, back to Bullock. Bullock thought about a three, hesitates, and drives in, and we're going to have a foul against North Georgia. I believe this is going to be against North Georgia as USC Beaufort inbounds. And the drive and kick out into the corner for Bullock. Bullock a threat to score from outside, and speaking of outside, that shot beyond the three-point line, off the mark. As Billups Jr. leaves it for Bastianoni. Tough layup in traffic. Gets it to fall. Gaines now back out to Bullock. Now back out to Gaines. Bullock wide open at the top of the three, but a good contest there. And a recovery by Champion, who's wide open at the other end. And he slams it down. Flight 5 cleared for takeoff. Great outlet pass by A.J. White to find Frank Champion for the easy bucket. And the drive inside by Price. No good, but he's going to be fouled on the shot by Bastianoni, which is going to send him to the line for USC Beaufort's first free throws of the game. Finally hitting that mark at the 16:30 point in the second half. As the first free throw is knocked down by Price. As Champagne checks back into the game for USC Buford. Second free throw off the mark. Billups Jr. grabs the board. Here's A.J. White. Gets a screen from Frank. Now to Bastianoni. Gets it to Caden Charles in the corner. Now back down low to Bastianoni in traffic. Another tough layup. Gets it to go and one for the big man Bastianoni, and he's going to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. And Sutton Smith's going to step back on for North Georgia. Has seen his first action of the second half. Billups Jr. will step off as Bastianoni converts on the three-point play. 57-42 lead for North Georgia as we approach 16 minutes remaining. USC Buford trying to make something happen on offense there. Gone cold for the last few possessions as Bastianoni muscles in for the rebound. Here is Sutton Smith, leaves it for Champion into the corner to Caden Charles. Up top to Sutton Smith. Now to Caden Charles, back down low to Frank Champion. 10 on the shot clock. As Frank Champion tries to get it down low into traffic to Sutton Smith. USC Buford takes over, and we're going to have an offensive foul as the big man, Frank Champion, steps in and draws the charge. Don't see that quite often. Frank Champion drawing charges, but a great job by him setting his feet. And it's going to be North Georgia's ball when we come back from this media timeout. North Georgia leads 57-42. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
Let's take another look at this outlet pass to Frank Champion from A.J. White for the slam. Goes up top, and that's one of the best duos that you will see in NCAA Division II basketball. Frank Champion and A.J. White ranking in the top 3 in the PBC in points per game, and last week, Frank Champion and A.J. White were named to the Small College Bevo Francis Top 100 watch list. As the Nighthawks try to get this one into Champion, that Top 100 watch list consists of some of the top names in NCAA Division II, Division III, NAIA, USCAA, and NCCAA. As the Nighthawks keep this possession alive, and Bastianoni muscles in for 2, and he's going to the line for one more. Great possession there by the Nighthawks, keeping the play alive, and it pays off with a Bastianoni bucket down low. So he's going to the line to try to convert on the three-point play. But as we were mentioning, Champion and White, one of the best duos in Division II basketball this season. They were the only 2 players in the Peach Belt Conference included on the list. And last season, Champion was a top 25 finalist for the award in the 2022-2023 season. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul going against Bastianoni as he fouls number 12, Champagne. 12 on 12 action there. Bastianoni comes up with the foul, and Case Roach is going to check back in for North Georgia, and Frank Champion will sit. North Georgia up by 18, and the quick three-pointer off the mark there by Paladugu. A.J. White in transition, and we're going to have an offensive foul on A.J. White as Paladugu stepped in there to draw the charge. White picking up his first foul of the game. Here's Gaines with the ball. Got Bastianoni on him up top to Paladugu. And the three-pointer is off the mark by Champagne, and we're going to have another foul. This one's going against Sutton Smith for North Georgia. USC Beaufort's going to make some substitutions as Bullock steps back on, and Overstreet will step on as well for the Sand Sharks. And the big man, Colin Turner, is going to step on for the Nighthawks in replace of Bastianoni. Sand Sharks get this one in to Champagne. Swings it. Now back to Champagne. Thought about a long two. Hits a wide open Bullock for three, and he nails it. North Georgia with a 15-point lead. Again, seeing some pressure, full court pressure from USC Beaufort as A.J. White, tough bucket inside in transition, gets the layup. He was smothered on that one, doesn't matter, converts the bucket for two, and North Georgia on the move and transition again as Caden Charles is fouled. And he may be going to the line for two free throws of his own. Nice job by North Georgia these last two possessions, getting ahead of USC Beaufort in transition. That's paid off with a tough bucket by A.J. White, and Caden Charles now is going to look to add to the lead. Converts on the first free throw, makes this a 63-45 game as White steps off and Chase Champion steps on. North Georgia continuing to be aggressive, getting to the free throw line as that one rims in and out for Caden Charles. Champagne behind the back. Out to Bullock. Bullock not afraid to let it fly, and he misses the three-pointer there off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound, and the bucket is good as Overstreet gets the follow-up layup to go. Overstreet, one of the leaders on this USC Beaufort team in scoring this season. And the full court press pays off for USC Beaufort as they get the ball here off the North Georgia turnover. We've seen that a couple times in this game where the Sand Sharks have put the pressure on. Long pass out to Spanos. He misses the open three as Billups Jr. collects the rebound as he's got some pressure from behind going coast to coast, and that's too easy for Billups Jr. Converts on the bucket in transition. And he'll take those all day. And USC Beaufort's head coach Fudala not too happy with the lack of defense there from the Sand Sharks. And the drive to the bucket is good. They're going to count the basket by Champagne. Coach Evans not too pleased with something there. And so Champagne's going to go to the free throw line. Try to get his 9th points of the game. Converts on the free throw. Substitution for the Sand Sharks as Price will check back in. And the superstar Frank Champion's also going to step back on, and Case Roach will step off. As we mentioned in that first half, Frank Champion continues to lead the PBC in points per game and assists per game. 20.1 points per outing for Frank Champion and 5.8 assists per game. Nighthawks on the move here as Colin Turner goes up, misses the turnaround floater. And those numbers for Frank Champion, his points per game rank 35th in NCAA Division II, and his assists per game ranking 9th in the nation. The feed down low to Overstreet. Overstreet thought about a layup, leaves it for a open layup for Pulse. Nighthawks get this one inbounded to Smith, now to Greg Billups Jr., and his pocket is picked from behind, and an easy layup at the other end for Svanos. USC Beaufort pesky on the defensive end. That's why they lead the Peach Belt Conference, averaging 10.5 steals per game. North Georgia breaking the press there as Champion is pressured from behind, shot off the mark, but the pass goes over the head there of Pulse, which is going to take us to our under 12 media timeout. We'll step aside for a short commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I'd really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high, though.
Hi.
Hey. Oh my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where it's a 65-52 ball game between North Georgia and USC Beaufort. North Georgia up by 13. The Nighthawks are going to inbound here after the turnover by the Sand Sharks. Get this one into A.J. White. He's stepping back on for North Georgia. Now to Champion. Leaves it for Caden Charles. Nighthawks starters back on the floor. And I believe we're going to have a whistle and a foul going against USC Beaufort. And that's going to go against Kevon Price, his third of the game. It's going to send Champion to the line. Sand Sharks are over the limit, as Champion misses the 1-and-1. Bullock passes it off to Svanos. Back to Bullock. Bullock's leading the Sand Sharks in scoring with now 18 points after the triple there for number 3. Sand Sharks have made this a 10-point ball game. Nighthawks get this into A.J. White. Takes the screen from Bastianoni. Rolls to the basket. Now into Frank Champion. Back to Bastianoni. Down low to Billups Jr. and he gets the layup and one. And the toughness from Billups Jr. pays off. Converts on the layup, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Nighthawks have done some damage from the charity stripe in this game. 17 for 23 compared to just 2 for 3 for USC Beaufort. And the Sand Sharks are going to make a handful of substitutions here, as Billups Jr. tries to convert the three-point play. And he does. And what was once a 10-point ball game now quickly becomes a 13-point lead for North Georgia. Here's Champagne. Ball gets back to Champagne. And too many steps there. Travel on Champagne, and this is going to be North Georgia's ball. North Georgia looking for a bounce-back win after an 18-point loss, 78-60, on the road to Lander this past Wednesday in a top 25 ranked matchup. And Frank Champion getting back into the scoring column in this one after being held to just 3 points in his last outing. And the long two from Caden Charles off the mark, and Bastianoni gets the bucket after the tip-in. Frank Champion with 14 points in this one, and Bastianoni with 15 of his own. And great hands by Caden Charles on the steal in transition, and he's going to be fouled, going to the line for two more. I believe that was Price on the foul from behind, and North Georgia's going to continue to stay aggressive, take advantage of the foul trouble from USC Beaufort. The Sand Sharks are one foul away from putting North Georgia into double bonus. And the first free throw for Caden Charles is good. Sand Sharks going to make some subs here, as Overstreet will step back in. So will Bullock, as well as Spanos. And the Sand Sharks have gotten a majority of their points from Bullock and Spanos. Spanos with 8 points, Bullock 18, as Caden Charles now with 19 points in this ball game. He's one shy of tying his career high, as the corner three is good by Pulse. Nighthawks inbound this to A.J. White. We're going to have a foul, though, in the backcourt on Spanos. A little too aggressive on the contact. And now in the double bonus, this is going to send A.J. White to the line for 2 guaranteed free throws. And Paladugu will step on for USC Beaufort as Spanos steps off. 72-58 lead for North Georgia. 9:04 remaining in this ball game. As we mentioned in that first half, A.J. White, one of the purest shooters from the line. When he misses the first, surprising miss there by A.J. White. Let's see if he can convert the second here, as he does. Bullock with the ball, trying to drive in and kicks it out. Get this one to Pulse. Trying to find Overstreet down low. He's got Champion on him. He's calling for the ball. And the drive and the layup is off. But the offensive rebound goes to Overstreet. Another possession for the Sand Sharks. And the three hits the front of the rim by Bullock. Rebound goes to Champion. The Champion will drive in and slam it down. And they are on their feet here at Lynn Cottrell Arena. Champion skies high for the slam. 78-58 lead for North Georgia. And they are on the move yet again between the legs pass by Caden Charles. Trying to find Frank Champion there in transition in what would have been a Sports Center highlight there. And We're going to have a foul on the other end. It's going to send USC Beaufort to the line. But you can feel the momentum shifting in North Georgia's direction. It has most of this game, but you can feel them starting to put this one away. Up 17. As Overstreet knocks down the first free throw. And Caden Charles will step off, and Chase Champion steps on for the Nighthawks. And as of January 15th, North Georgia sits in the top 10 of both NCAA Division II national rankings, sitting at number 6 in the NABC coaches poll and number 5 in the D2 CSC men's basketball Division II media poll. Of course, we'll most likely see them drop a bit when the next rankings come out after falling to Lander in that top 25 matchup. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lander and North Georgia swap spots, potentially with North Georgia getting into the top 17, and Champion once again slams it down. Nice feed inside by Bastianoni. So North Georgia almost certainly is going to remain in the top 25, but maybe falling to that 15 to 17 range. Meanwhile, Lander, we could potentially see them crack the top 10 after taking down North Georgia this past Wednesday as Bastianoni grabs the rebound. As we mentioned earlier, North Georgia's only 2 losses this season have come against ranked teams. Bastianoni thought about driving for a layup, turns it over. Bullock with the ball. They get this one in the corner to Gaines. Back up top to Bullock. Out of Pauladugu. Bullock with the ball, long three-pointer off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Overstreet and a rejection by Bastianoni. The Bastianoni block keeps USC Beaufort from scoring. 77-60 still is your score. As Chase Champion takes the screen. Now Greg Bullock drives in. The follow by Chase Champion, no good. In transition, here comes USC Beaufort, and the corner three is pure by Pauladugu. And a timeout here on the floor. This is going to be a USC Beaufort timeout. And so this is going to take us to a short commercial break. North Georgia leads 77-63. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Northeast Georgia Health System is a proud supporter of North Georgia Nighthawk Athletics.
And let's take a look at that Frank Champion slam once again. As A.J. White set the screen, and Frank Champion all alone at the basket slams it down, and that had the crowd fired up here at Lynn Cottrell Arena. Frank Champion doing what he does best, driving to the rim and slamming it down. Nighthawks are going to inbound here out of the media timeout. Trying to pick up a win following North Georgia women's basketball picking up a win against USC Beaufort earlier today. Didn't get a chance to mention this on that first broadcast, but Ansley Hall in that win set a new program record, 15 assists in the victory. So congrats to Ansley Hall, one of the leaders in the PBC in assists this season, and she's the reason that North Georgia leads the conference, averaging over 17 assists per game. Almost hit that mark solo in that one. Quite the impressive outing by Ansley Hall as the drive to the bucket is off the mark by Price, but he's going to be fouled. And he's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws. But this is going to take us to our under 6-minute media timeout. And so we will step aside for another short commercial break. This is North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Shop, play, and stay in Dahlonega, the heart of the North Georgia mountains.
Considering a career change? Ready to lead in healthcare? Be a nurse in 15 months with our accelerated Bachelor's of Nursing track. Learn more at ung.edu/ABSN.
Kevon Price at the line to shoot a pair of free throws. North Georgia leads 77-63. About 5.5 minutes remaining in this one as Price knocks down the first. North Georgia has gotten some great production out of their starting five today in the scoring column. 14 points for White, 15 for Bastianoni, 19 for Caden Charles, 18 for Frank Champion, and 9 for Greg Billups Jr. Speaking of Billups Jr., he's pressured at midcourt. Here is Frank Champion with the size mismatch here, kicks it out and back down low to Frank Champion. Now back up top to Greg Billups Jr., who takes the three, and why not? Billups Jr. knocks down the three, extends this North Georgia lead to 16. And an answer at the other end by USC Buford as Paladogu knocks it down. As we're going to have a stoppage of play here. USC Buford's going to make a sub as Gaines steps back on. Anytime North Georgia has threatened to make this one a 20-point lead, USC Buford has had an answer. Down by 13 with 4:45 remaining. Case Roach in the game for North Georgia now as well. Here's Champion, Euro steps to the basket, off the mark. Rebound goes to the Sand Sharks. Here's Paladogu, who's going to be fouled before the shot. And this foul is going to go against Case Roach. It's going to send the Sand Sharks to the line. Nighthawks over the limit, so Paladogu will go to the line for 2 free throws. Hits the first. We're going to have some more subs for North Georgia as Billups Jr. and Chase Champion step off, and Caden Charles and Sutton Smith are back on for the Nighthawks. Sand Sharks going to make some subs as well as Bullock and Spanos step back on with 4:23 remaining. And Paladogu has the chance to make this an 11-point ball game. Who can knock down the free throw. Crowd doing their best to distract him there, but he knocks it down, 80-69. Nighthawks inbound this to A.J. White, and Caden Charles trying to beat the press. Here's Frank Champion with the ball, hands it off to A.J. White. Champion hits the deck, no call. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Charles dishes it out, and we got A.J. White who pump fakes, shoots the three, and bang! Off the glass! A.J. White from downtown hits the three, 83-69. North Georgia with the 14-point lead. Sand Sharks trying to make something happen quickly on offense. Here is Overstreet trying to back down Champion, and Champion is having none of that, and this is going to take us to our under 4 media timeout. Nighthawks starting to build up some momentum. 83-69 your score. We'll step aside for a commercial break. You're watching North Georgia basketball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I'm here.
You've got a lot of reasons to be here. That's why we're here at Georgia Heart Institute, where advanced heart attack treatments save more hearts than anywhere in Georgia.
My baby girl is home.
Georgia Heart Institute.
All right, Joyride Beads. I hear if you run long enough, you get something called a runner's high, which sounds like something I'd really enjoy. Let's do this. Okay, so far so good. Mama Lake? What? Still no high, though.
Hi.
Hey. Oh my God. There it was. My first runner's high. Well, better quit while I'm ahead. God, I'm good.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sport.
Back with you here at Lynn Cottrell Arena, where North Georgia leads 83-69. We are starting to build up some momentum in these final 4 minutes of the game. We'll see if they can hold on here and push their win total on the season to 14 with 3:31 remaining. USC Beaufort inbounds. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. As Bullock, another long three, hits the back of the rim. And this is going to be an offensive rebound for the Sand Sharks. Shot clock resets to 20, and the three air balls by Spanos. And this is going to be North Georgia's ball after the missed three-point attempt by Spanos. And Bastianoni is going to check back in, and Case Roach will step off. As USC Beaufort still shows a full court press. Caden Charles got to get across half court quickly, and A.J. White gets it just before the 10-second violation. Into the corner to Caden Charles. Charles drives in, and he misses the layup. Charles is 2 points away from hitting a career high. And the bucket at the other end, no good by Bullock. Charles grabs the rebound. Outlet pass to A.J. White, and A.J. White leaves it, and Caden Charles, there you go. 21 points in the game for Charles, a new career high for the sophomore. He's had a fantastic game in this outing, building off of his high scoring total from last game against Lander. He scored 14 points. He's got 21 here in this contest. And so the Sand Sharks are going to go to the line. Overstreet. He's got a pair of free throws coming up. And he misses the first, keeps this a 85-69 ball game. USC Beaufort trailing. Speaking of USC Beaufort, Sand Sharks head coach, Coach Fudala, hired as the first head coach of USC Beaufort's men's basketball team, coming over from Indiana University, Pennsylvania, after serving as the associate head coach over there for 4 seasons. Nighthawks work this one around, and Sutton Smith misses the floater. This is going to stay North Georgia's basketball. And Coach Fudala was part of IUP's run to the Elite Eight in the 2022 NCAA Division II men's basketball tournament. Get this one inbounded to Caden Charles, now to Bastianoni. Down low, couldn't get this one into Frank Champion, stolen by Price. And a long three-pointer is good by Pulse. Again, USC Beaufort hanging in there with North Georgia. 13-point lead for the Nighthawks. Under 2 minutes to go. As the Sand Sharks call a timeout, we'll stay right here with a 30-second timeout from USC Beaufort. And as we mentioned, North Georgia trying to improve to 14 wins on the season, 5-1 in PBC play. If they're able to get the victory this afternoon, they may not have too much of an impact then on their dropping in the NCAA Division II national rankings, which, as we mentioned, lost to Lander on Wednesday, but a win today definitely could help their chances. Speaking of Lander, looks like they're going to avoid the upset. They're up 73-66 over Georgia College with 36 seconds remaining in that second half. Inbound goes to A.J. White. A.J. White on the move. Reverse layup, no good. Bastianoni collects the offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Frank Champion. Nighthawks can reset. Here is Sutton Smith driving into the bucket. Easy layup for the PG, Sutton Smith. Another timeout is going to be called on the floor. This time it's going to be North Georgia. Looks like they're going to make some subs as well. We will stay right here. We are talking about Georgia College and Lander's game wrapping up. A couple more PBC games in action, wrapping up their second halves. Columbus State up 59-53 over USC Aiken in a tightly contested ball game with 5:03 remaining in that one. And Flagler College up 77-65 over Columbus State with 4:43 remaining in that ball game. So even if North Georgia picks up the win today, they'll still be trailing Lander in the PBC standings. But they've got a chance to get some revenge later on in the season. Being a PBC team, they'll see them twice. Same thing with USC Beaufort. North Georgia's going to see them again on February 17th. Nighthawks in transition. Slam up top by Greg Billups Jr. Soars over the USC Beaufort defender there. Over Price. Nighthawks in transition yet again. Here is Roach. He's able to keep this play alive. And what a sequence for North Georgia as we approach 1 minute remaining in this game. Back to Bastianoni, down low in traffic, converts on the layup for 2. Now a 19-point lead for North Georgia, and they are well on their way to win number 14 this year. And the three-pointer air ball there from Gaines, much to the delight of the crowd here at the Convocation Center. So North Georgia will take over. A.J. White's going to inbound. Nighthawks get this one in, and USC Beaufort lets off the full court pressure. A.J. White fouled by Price. It's going to send him to the line for a pair of free throws. And that's going to be the 5th foul on Price. So barring a miracle comeback here, USC Beaufort's going to fall to 9-5. Their previous game, they had taken down Georgia College 97-83. As A.J. White goes to the line for a pair of free throws, as he can't hit the first. Hits the front of the rim. Chance to extend this lead to 20 for North Georgia. The Nighthawks, up to this point, holding the Sand Sharks to just 72 points. Great job defensively by the Nighthawks. As you mentioned earlier, USC Beaufort, the highest scoring team in the Peach Belt Conference, averaging over 98 points a game. Just 72 points so far in this one. With 20 seconds left, Bullock with the ball, and he may just dribble this one out. Could take a long three, though. We've seen that in this game, and he does take the long three and knocks it down. Now a 92-75 ball game, and North Georgia is just going to inbound this and wind out the clock. And that's going to do it. The Nighthawks bounce back, picking up their 14th win of the season and remain undefeated at home. And the Sand Sharks fall to 9-5 on the year, looking to bounce back in their second straight game against a ranked opponent when they take on USC Aiken on Wednesday. A great showing by the Nighthawks here in the victory. Their starting 5 showing out on offense. 17 points for A.J. White, 17 for Bastianoni, 14 for Billups Jr., 18 for Champion, and a career high and a game high 21 points for Caden Charles in the victory. We'll be back with you on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. for another doubleheader with North Georgia men's and women's basketball taking on Georgia Southwestern on Spirit Night. We appreciate you deciding to spend your afternoon with us if you stuck around for our doubleheader. On behalf of the Nighthawk Sports Network crew working hard behind the scenes to make these game days possible, this is Robert DiClemente saying thanks so much for watching. Again, your final score, 92-77. Nighthawks win. Again, until next time, have a great weekend, everyone.